This conference will now be recorded.
Town of Cottage Grove Plan Commission will hold a public meeting on Wednesday, September 25th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall at 4058 County Road N. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have the agenda was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. We have a quorum present. I'll call the meeting to order. You have the minutes of the August 28th meeting in your packet.
One question I had is, who's the eighth member that voted against approve the minutes in the prior meeting?
It should be 7 to 1, shouldn't it? I mean 6 to 1.
Yeah.
And whoever wasn't at the meeting.
Wasn't that an abstention? Not a negative?
Probably. Whoever was not at the last meeting.
Is that your motion? That
To approve?
correction?
Yes, to approve with that correction.
Motion by Mule, second by Myler to approve with change in number 3 to 601. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anders, aye.
Thank you. Motion carried. Next item is public concerns, public's opportunity to speak to the Plan Commission about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. Anyone online for public concerns? No? All right, moving on. Dennis Richardson, representing RJ Houston Incorporated, petitioner Score Pit LLC, property owner of parcel 0711-283-9800-6 at 3355 County Road N. Petition to rezone 14.51 acres from HC and 31.01 acres from RM16 to M1 manufacturing and industrial to match existing land use to correct zoning districts. Is Dennis online?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, we're looking to rezone our Score Pit to come current with the new zoning. And the zoning of manufacturing industrial is what we were told would be the only zoning that would work for both a CUP for mineral extraction and a CUP for the composting. So basically, we're trying to catch up because the zonings districts changed, a few years ago. We're
Right.
trying to get caught back up with the county.
We can do B and C at the same time?
Hmm?
Are we gonna do B and C at the same time?
Do them one at a time.
Okay.
And then I guess if you can see there, Chris, we've already submitted a few items to be crossed out, and we're in agreement with those.
Of the zoning district.
Correct. Under
Okay.
M1 or MI, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know you were going to get adult bookstores
Right, right.
or
There goes one of our
entertainment.
retirement plans.
No marinas, no veterinary clinics.
No,
Anything else you want to tell us?
I don't think at the rezone. I think the rezone's pretty cut and dry. Unless you guys have any questions for us.
Any questions?
Not for me.
When
Actually, I do have a question. the acreage that you're looking to rezone seems to be quite a bit larger than the visual, aspect of the composting operation there in the northeast corner of the pit. Are you planning on expanding the um, composting operations, or is that how many acres that you've been currently using for that?
No, that the rezone, Steve, is for the full 45 acres of the property because we have to rezone also for the mineral extraction.
I see. Okay.
So the whole property will be the MI, but we need that in order to do either one of those CUPs.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Anyone in the audience or online for comments?
When did you plan on starting the reclamation plan? Do you have an idea?
The reclamation of the site, the reclamation plan that won't be for a while. We're asking for another 10 years on the CUP to get us through um, until we get the other side of the road developed. I really don't see the Scar Pit side get developed until the east side of the road gets developed.
Okay.
Any other question? Is there a motion?
To rezone the acres to is move approval for that as 14.51 and the 3101 to MI.
And you're not allowing,
Designated items as delineated.
not permitted for adult bookstores, adult entertainment overlay district, marinas, and veterinary clinics would not be allowed.
Correct.
Motion by Mueller, is there a second? Second by Bannigan. Any discussion on the motion to approve the MI zone with those 5 items that are permitted uses not to be allowed? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same
Anders, aye.
sign. Motion carried. Next item is to extend the current CUP 2342 for processing or composting of organic byproducts or waste, which was approved in 2016 and expires February 25th of 2025.
And I guess just on our end to explain, that's the conditional use permit then for our composting operation, which has been running hand in hand with the mineral extraction that goes on down there. Yep, we're looking to extend that and run it concurrently at the same time frame that we're asking for the mineral extraction to be extended.
For a 10-year period.
Yes, under the same conditions that we've been running before with the township. It seems to be working pretty decent. Knock on wood here, but I think all of our neighbors here we've been okay for the last few years here. So I think we've been in good shape.
I don't recall having any complaints.
That was my question. Yeah. Nondescript or
Anyone in the audience or online for comments?
The last couple is good to continue.
Yes. Is there a motion then?
Yeah, you don't have the standards.
Find them down on this one. Okay, if you do not think that the conditions have been met, please sing out. The establishment, maintenance, or operation of conditional use will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, comfort, or general welfare. The use's values and enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood for purposes already permitted shall be in no foreseeable manner substantially impaired or diminished by establishment, maintenance, or operation of the conditional use. The establishment of the conditional use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. Adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary site improvements have been or are being made to accommodate the conditional use. Adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed as to minimize traffic congestion in the public streets. That the conditional use shall conform to all applicable regulations of the district in which it is located. The conditional use is consistent with the adopted town and county comprehensive plans. It's not in the Farmland Preservation District. So everything was met.
That was for both, correct?
Just
Really, yes.
Okay.
Unless you want me to read it
Nope.
the second time.
No,
Did we have a motion in a second?
No.
Or is there more discussion or questions that you have?
Is there any reason we can't have them talk about the mineral extraction at the same time, or you really don't want to? Okay.
Do them one at a time.
Okay.
I would move approval of the CUP,
For 10 years,
10 years.
motion by Andrews. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Second by Mule to approve the CUP 2342 extended for another 10 years. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Same sign. Motion carried. Next one is extend current CUP 2003 for non-metallic mining extraction, which was approved in 2015 and expires February 25th of 25.
Here again, Chris, we're looking to continue our non-metallic mining extraction operation for another 10 years. We'll see how like you said, the east side of the road develops. That'll help determine how long the west side stays open here. But for right now, we'd like to extend it for another 10 years under the same conditions, operations that we've been operating under for hours of operation.
Yeah, hours stay the same, but are you going to enlarge that detention pond?
We're looking at that. I think the final in order preliminary design for development of that down there, I think that pond will have to be increased size-wise. You know, the Dane County has changed from when we first did this. Dane County Land Conservation has changed the requirement for amount of detention. So I think that pond size will have to increase.
Okay. Questions? Anyone?
and the blue arrows on the map, are those the top flow of water or water underground?
Those are flow on top, stormwater,
Okay.
surface flow. So we try to maintain the compost area, go into its own little settlement basin, and then the rest of the mining operation goes to the big pond.
Good deal.
Any complaints on this thing during the last,
Pardon?
any complaints on the last 10 years?
No.
I don't think so.
I think in the last 10 years, I've called them once about dust.
Yeah.
And they watered right away, so.
Move to approve. CUP 2003.
For 10 years.
Yeah.
Motion by Mule, is there a second? Was that Myler?
Yeah.
Second by Myler to approve extend the current CUP 2003 for another 10 years with same conditions. Any other discussion on them?
And we're assuming that the conditions of the some items were approval.
Same as the-
We're same as the other CUP.
Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sanders, aye.
Motion carried. Next item, Dwayne Swalheim petitioner, DP and CJ Swalheim, 2011 revocable trust property owner petition for final plat approval for Swalheim Business Park on parcel 0711-273-0044-0.
Need to be here.
Yes, I'm not, are you here?
Yeah, I am here
Oh,
for,
there you are.
Dwayne's not here, so I did bring copies of the plat. I think it's cool to do that if you guys want those.
Did Nick copy you on his email this afternoon?
I don't think so.
This is Brian with Town and Country Engineering. I'm logged in virtually on Nick's behalf, and I can cover Nick's comments if that's helpful, or I can stand by also.
Okay.
We're running out of paper. It's easier to read.
Sure. Maybe share.
You want to share one?
Yeah. Either way.
Take your own time.
Oh, boy. There you go. There you
Do you have a copy of the letter dated today from Town and Country?
I just got it now.
Okay. So he had 3 items. So his first one was the drainage easement shown on the plans at the southwest corner of the cul-de-sac near the culvert intake is missing.
It's just a twin brother of the easement at the northwest corner of the cul-de-sac. It's correctly shown on the construction plan, just missing on the plat is all.
Got
So I
it.
think it can just be.
No problem. Welcome.
This one should also be listed down there. Be in both places. Then there's a solid line on lot 2 near lot 1 should be removed from the plat. You see that?
Yes, I do.
It shouldn't be there. And note 12 shall be expanded to clarify if the town performs maintenance, the cost will be special assessed for the benefiting lots.
What would be the? What would be the, it's only these lots that are listed here, 1 through 4? It's not
1 through 4 and those 3,
these 3. Okay, that's why I
Yeah.
was certified solar.
because they all use
Yeah.
that stormwater. All right, anything else you want to bring to our attention?
Chris, I have a question.
Okay,
Is this something that we want to possibly even consider approval contingent upon completion? Or are we going to say that, sorry, Charlie, let's go ahead and not approve it until the stuff is has been completed?
He's asking, do we want to approve this contingent on these items that he completed? Or do we ask him to come back with them all completed so we can review it? I would, if you made a, I mean,
I think if he gives it to us with these corrections, we can approve it.
I'm on the side of when it's all said and done, it's all in front of us because of how much back and forth, then we approve it. I wouldn't put any contingency on it.
So the town has 60 days to approve a final plat, or else it's automatically approved.
Yeah,
It was submitted August 24th or 9th. I can't remember. We had 2 submitted right around the same
or
time. So
60 is just
60
about
days
up.
are up before your next meeting. So this has to get to the planning commission. The only thing you could do if you weren't ready to approve it would be ask for
As
an
for an
extension of that 60 days or deny. It would be automatically approved.
It's be doing an extension.
If you look at the resolution that the attorneys drafted for this, they had a bunch of contingencies in them, and some of those have already been met, but I mean, you would want to carefully decide which ones need to stay in there and which ones are met if you were going to adopt that resolution. That would be how the plan commission will move forward. The other pieces that you have in front of you, the attorney does have a letter of credit. That was a piece from the developer's agreement. The covenants are, I just got those hot off the press today, reviewed by our attorney. Those are just given to you tonight, so you haven't had much time to review those, but it generally does not talk about the association maintaining the stormwater facilities like we originally thought, because the town has said that they want to do that, so he redlined that out of there, but there is other things like design review and landscaping and things like that that an association would enforce under these covenants. So that's another part of it that needs to be approved by the town, whether you have input or you want to leave that to the town board. There's also a stormwater water agreement for that outlot that is with the county that I think says that it does not say that the town expect the town to maintain it, because that's not what was true back when that was adopted last fall, which was this plat wasn't even brought forward yet. It was really just relating to the stormwater that was designed for those originally 4 lots. So that may have to be redone with the county to be more in line with how things are looking today, I guess.
So if there was an extension, it could be extended out 30 days, would that be adequate?
You could ask for a 30-day extension, which would get you past the next plan commission meeting, yes.
There was some notes from the last meeting. There's supposed to be some things completed, and I brought them tonight. Do it. Right here. July 23rd, there was a letter sent from Town and Country and to UCAM that had to do with the plat documents, sheets C4 and C5, and then sheets C6 and C9.
So those documents are earlier review letters by the engineer, and so I think, and Brian can maybe tell me if I'm right or wrong, that pretty much that's all boiled down to this most recent one that had 3 points that were still outstanding.
That is correct. Yes, these are the only comments we still had left.
So all the ones from the July and August review letters, those have been addressed, and what was left is what was in the
We
letter
had
you got tonight, those 3
Those
points.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I may, I would be inclined to recommend that we ask for an extension from Mr. Swalheim, just to make sure that everything is done correctly this time. I mean, there have been so many false starts and deviations from accepted practices in this whole process that I would rather not, just because we're under a time crunch, not through the town's fault, I might add, excuse me, that we go ahead to ask for an extension from Mr. Swalheim, and everybody go back, take a breath, and make sure that what we're presented is complete and ready to go to market, so to speak.
Is that a motion?
Is that a motion?
I would love for it to be a motion.
Motion by Anders.
How many days on the extension?
How many days were you asking for on the extension?
Well, I heard Kim mention 30 days. Is
That'll get
that,
you into about the middle of November.
I'm sorry,
That would get us till about the middle of November, so past the next plan commission meeting and time for the town board meeting thereafter to take action.
Kim, I have a question. Does it, the 30-day time frame that you mentioned, is that it is 30 days, or in this particular case, could we extend it to include our November plan commission meeting? Have it a day or so, the extension and the day or so after our November meeting? Because of the fact that, go ahead.
Asking for 30, I don't know if you can go all the way to 60 or not legally. Don't know if there's any, I don't know.
Well, then,
I
I
guess,
guess,
Steve, what else do you want to see in your hand before you approve?
how about everything being complete? Have the 3 items that the Town and Country folks have identified.
Right?
Having,
They would have those done to present to the town board at our October 7th meeting. For the town board to approve it then. if the plan commission's motions to approve with those being done, they would have to be done by our October 7th meeting for the town board to see.
I guess do my fellow plan commission members want to defer to the town board in that particular case? Or do they want the final kick of the can?
I'd like to read through some of this stuff. I'd like to have the drawing all complete. I don't remember what we had talked about here. He's gonna have this fall, but then the church is talking for this.
Over here, it'd be the ball is gonna be gravel.
Yep.
All 6, yes, to do, before you can get a building permit.
Correct. You have to finish that road.
But only gravel that had the cul-de-sac.
Correct.
Yeah.
You probably would actually have time for a second town board meeting in October too. It's the 24th is the earliest. It's the 24th or 29th. Well, actually, it should be right stamped on there somewhere, but so you'd have 2 town board meetings, but you don't have another plan commission meeting.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to do a joint meeting of the 2.
So it's mainly the town board that approves these covenants, right? These 2? We don't need to.
Recommendation to the town board.
The way that the resolution potentially be approved tonight reads on that is the developer shall provide a declaration of covenants for the plat for review and approval by the town attorney and town board. So the town board reviewing those would meet that requirement.
Yeah. And in the end, we would have to fill in the number of lots that are.
Well, that's already, that should be on the plat. That was one of the things that should have been added to the plat. The note shall be added to the plat stating on
Yes,
the cost of
And number
maintenance.
12.
And then there should be, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 lots there.
7. 1 through 4 and lots 1 through 3 of the certified survey.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to, these 3 items are minor in my mind on the map. And if the town town board's gonna approve all the other contractual stuff for the agreement for the maintenance stormwater and the covenants and conditions, and I'm personally, just to keep it going.
Yeah. That's up.
So
I agree with
Chris,
that.
there's no hang up to changing these lot line things and the easement
No.
thing, right?
No,
That's just
absolutely not.
pretty-
I agree with Dave. These are pretty minor.
Yeah.
Minor stuff in here. Yeah.
Probably take you 10 minutes on the computer.
Yeah. If there's certain language you guys want on 12 to expand and clarify, I'm all ears, whatever you guys need.
Yeah, I mean, Nick can give you that. That's
Yeah, that's fine. I can email that. Give him a call.
So I'm inclined to approve with those changes from Town and Country.
Well, there was a motion by Anderson, nobody seconded it, so.
I'll withdraw the motion.
So now you are making a new motion,
To approve the plat,
final plat.
subject to the 3 minor modifications as recommended by the town engineer.
Okay. Motion by Mule, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Kundra to approve the final plat with the recommendations from Town and Country being incorporated onto the plat. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. Next item is consider adoption of resolution 2024-9-25, recommending approval of the final plat of Swalheim Business Park.
You should look at those conditions and decide if you want any of them crossed off or if you want any additional conditions written in. Most of them, I think, have been satisfied.
You want me to read them or do you want to read them individually?
I think any of them that are related to the plat should be good to go. You should probably throw that up. Brian, did you get a copy of this resolution?
Yes, and we did not have any,
So, because
I guess anything to add, minus our,
there were several of the points on there that were things that needed to be on the plat, but I think they might be now, so they could probably be crossed off, but you would maybe want to tell us which ones.
I'm having a hard time seeing this on my screen. I'm logged in my car right now.
Oh,
Would you mind being able to pull that? Could you pull that up, Kim?
I'm trying to. Hold on.
Well, like G, that's showing on the plat. Plat shall show the exact length and bearing of the center line for all streets. We only have the one.
Straight.
All right, here we go.
Did you want them on North Star?
Yeah, we should, and that should be at, is it 55 feet? 35, 35 should be dedicated.
Are you talking about G?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're okay
So
with
then-
G because go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because the bearing is provided for the north edge of the plat, which is parallel to the center line of North Star Road. So we'd be okay with G as is. Or striking G. I don't think that's.
Yeah, but should it say that it's dedicated to the public?
Well, North Star Road is already existing dedicated to the public.
It is dedicated
The
already,
cul-de-sac does.
but North Star is dedicated already. We can show that on
It
here.
says that on here.
Yeah, okay.
So let's start at the beginning here. So
Yeah, maybe we can start at the start.
A, I guess, is just that the developer will have to confirm that. I know he told us he talked to the post office. He's supposed to also talk to all private utilities, communication providers, and the post office serving the plat area for identification of easements to deliver services to the plat and provide verification of such submission to the town. So I don't have any kind of verification of those other than he told me he talked to the post office. If you want some kind of written verification of that, that should stay in there.
Yeah.
The developer shall submit the plans, profiles, and specifications required by town ordinances 1507 parent 3 and 1511 parent 1 to the town. So I don't know, Nick, or if Brian can answer to that or not.
Yeah, we've got those. I don't know that it hurts anything to leave that in as a condition in case things change. So I guess I would suggest that one as well as part C. Also just stay in there just in case something changes. But
Okay.
they're fairly benign for both
Would
B as in boy, C as in cat.
B as in dog, are the drainage area arrows all good now?
Yes.
Personally, I went off of it. It's up on lot 4 on the east side. I don't know how they got off of there. I think there's one that's supposed to be
Yeah,
there.
you're right.
I'll put that.
Okay, so we'll leave that one on there then.
Utility easement shall read public utility easement.
Mhm.
No shoreline easement, it's public utility easement.
And the legend on the right.
F.
Concur.
So E and F can be stricken? Is that right?
Mhm.
We don't need those, okay. We don't need those, we don't need G. How about H? Oh, I guess we don't see that.
I'm sorry to be the pain here. Yeah, thank you.
They don't have an arrow showing which way it goes between 1 and 2.
Yeah, that should still be kept.
And I
Okay,
believe it goes to the north to Pondella Lane.
Yeah, I think it does.
we will keep H. How about I? Setback lines?
They appear to be there.
Strike I.
Agreed.
J? That one's satisfied?
Yeah,
Yep.
What about the building permits for lot 4? Is that all good?
yeah.
It does read different, doesn't it? It's on the map, reads different than what's in the first sheet.
It's number 6 on the plat.
Yeah.
I think it actually reads better there.
Reads better on the map.
Yeah. You guys have to say.
We're comfortable with the note on the plat.
Okay, and then
And
I,
L.
L, tree planting.
No. Yeah,
Good. All right, so the covenants are still outstanding in M. And then the note about the cost of stormwater maintenance in N. Are you good with that?
yeah.
Yeah, that note's there, but what we were going to suggest is add the language about if the town does it, it'll assess, or if the town chooses to do maintenance, it will be assessing those people as well. And that is
It's number
not
12.
shown in.
Do you want?
Yeah, and that was just our comment to add a sentence about the town assessing those benefited properties.
Do you want me to contact Nick, or do you want him to contact me on that language?
It may be cleaner if you drop him a note.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you.
So we'll keep N. How about O? Is that one in there?
Would you mind scrolling down, Kim?
Jim, going back to N just for a second, do we need to show which lots rather than just the blank?
It is on the plat.
Okay,
It's on there now.
thank you.
Okay.
Is the note at all on there?
Yes, that's covered on note 13 of the plat right now.
Okay, so I'm going to keep A, B, C, H, M, N, and that's it. And strike the rest. Okay.
That's good here.
If you guys want to adopt it tonight, which is what would be the plan commission's formal recommendation.
Yeah, for town board. So is there a motion on resolution 2024-9-25 with the changes that Kim just read off, or the deletions?
Yes, be consistent.
Motion by Mule, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Bennigan. Any discussion on the approval of resolution 2024-9-25 with the changes to the conditions as read? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Sanders,
Opposed,
aye.
same sign. Motion carried. I see you back on the 7th.
Yeah. I know Dwayne's not here, but I think a big thank you from everybody here. So.
No paper tonight.
You want more?
No, I have enough. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Next item is Corey Clements, petitioner Dunlavin Ridge LLC property owner petition for preliminary plat approval for Kennedy Hills First Edition on parcels 0711-034-9001-0, 0711-101-8502-0 on Kennedy Road. Is Corey present? Come on up.
So this one, hopefully in your papers, you found comments from
Mark and
Nick.
Nick.
So the current owners have sold the property.
Apparently. And Corey's the new owner. And he wants to finish what Dave Resop had started. And I think we gave you the comments that we had from our engineer and from our planner.
I believe so, yeah.
Can I ask, isn't there something that we should have been notified of?
You can read them. Which one is that one?
It doesn't make any difference. Town and country.
Okay, so the general comments from Town and Country, which is the town engineer. Individual driveway permits will need to be submitted and approved for all new driveways prior to construction beginning. Stormwater management and erosion control plans must be submitted and approved by Dane County prior to construction beginning. The developer should contact the local postmaster to determine the required configuration and placement of mailboxes to serve the new homes. The board has discussed Kennedy Hills as part of the neighborhood connector streets, which includes a little bit of detail of 5-foot bike lanes and 70-foot right of way. So then there's some comments about particular sheets of the plans. PP2, they're recommending the path be connected to Woodland Crossing. This will also require a culvert. Sheet PP3, they're requiring the roadway and ditch line slope is proposed to be 0.71%, which can make maintenance and mowing difficult over time. They recommend increasing the ditch line to a slope of at least 1% as quickly as possible. And then on the document itself, they're noting that street A's should be labeled as Woodward Crossing. You want to talk about that, or you want me to read Mark's too?
Well, let's do Town and Country's comments first. Questions? Concerns? No problem meeting those?
Nope.
So that's all doable. Then Town Planner.
Okay, so Mark Roffers, who is the town's planning consultant, made these comments. The engineering plans indicate the proposed removal of the entire woodlot near the east edge of the plat, plus 2 very large oak trees to their west. The applicant should indicate whether such full removal is essential, convenient, or something in between, in order to make site grading work or for what other reason. The proposal is unfortunate for the environment and fully removes the buffer from adjacent homeowners in American heritage. The town has no specific regulation against tree removal. However, Town Comprehensive Plan Figure 8 does indicate that subdividers meet at least 80% of the conservation neighborhood design standards listed in that figure, and 2 or 3 of these standards are applicable to this removal proposal. I urge reconsideration of this tree removal proposal, instead considering revised grading plan and or lot sizes that allow some tree/woodland preservation. Do you want to talk about these one at a time, or?
Yeah, let's. Any comments?
Yeah, I'm only just taking the trees out enough to get the road and the ditches in.
And so you'd be selling
Yeah,
some lots that are wooded?
yeah, I'm not taking any more trees out than I have to.
Okay, because there are some
Yeah,
good
yeah, no, I don't
size
want to clear cut it, so,
oak trees in there and hackberry.
yeah. No, that was never the intent to clear cut it, so
The box elders, yes,
Right.
should probably go.
somebody can do what they want with the trees and they buy it, so it's up to them. But I'm not taking them out.
Okay,
So,
just enough to get the roads
Yeah.
and the ditches.
yeah, that's it.
So how do we know that that's
And then the lots are
staying
good.
that way? Because there's one item that says it's clear cut and then it's.
No, I never had the intention to clear cut it, so I don't know.
I understand
who
that.
put that in there, but yeah, it was never intended on.
Because other places, they aren't supposed to take trees, they do, and
Yeah,
by the time they're gone, there's no.
right. So I can't put them back up, so
Right.
I'm not taking, yeah, I don't want to take them all.
So I guess I'm wondering, from the town side of things, how do we know that that's not gonna happen?
Yeah, something in writing.
Does it say that in
whatever,
there somewhere?
it's fine.
Then that we
I
need,
saw it someplace that it was supposed to be clear cut.
so that needs to
And
come
then
out.
Yeah.
there's folks off of Woodland Crossing or some, 36, not 24, 23, there's a couple big oaks there. That
Yeah, no, I want to say everything I can.
So wherever that says that should be resubmitted without that, right?
Yes.
Can I?
I think that's on the construction plans is where that's located.
The trees be surveyed and actually shown, because you're gonna clear a whole lot of them to do that. And then the homeowners are gonna have to clear them to build their houses.
Yeah, the tree line is basically right in the middle, coming right directly across the furthest north lot line. So you have to clear it to build a house. There's no way you could not clear that tree line. Otherwise, why would you buy the lot?
Right. For some
You'd
areas.
have to move the road to make that like 2 lot lines, and that's the backyard separation or something. I mean, that's the only way I could see that you would not have to clear those. But that's not how it is as laid out.
And there's a concern about you know, the disruption of land, how is that gonna impact our septics? How's that gonna impact the wells by adding another 75 houses? How's that going to impact the drainage? Where's all that water gonna go when it, you know, when you get 4 inches of rain? Are they putting some type of a holding?
The stormwater will be handled by the county and our engineers.
Because
How-
that's something
how
that
the
is
water
a
will be
question.
handled And the sizing of whatever ponds and placement they need to be.
But as soon as you start,
With the town and the county on stormwater.
okay, but as soon as you start taking down some of those trees to put roads in, that's going to start impacting, and that's going to start impacting our properties.
I should say that they won't start construction of roads until they also construct the stormwater. Because we typically make stormwater be the first thing that you do.
Okay. And so has our properties been surveyed so that they can figure out what the impact of that stormwater is going to be? Who's taken a look at that to, you know, say, okay, we're not going to be impacted? And if we are impacted, who's responsible for that? I don't have flood insurance.
The town engineer will look at it to keep the water on site and to drain the appropriate way wherever it's supposed to drain, which is probably to the south on that first portion of it, at least. And then the county also looks at it to make sure that they're happy with it also.
Okay. Have we gotten any feedback at all from any of the people that were in that first development? Like the initial houses?
Plenty of comments.
Some of them are here.
Oh,
I got comments. I'm waiting my turn.
So we should probably get you all to state your names.
no,
for the
I'd
record,
like to
too.
hear that.
My name's Tony Arts.
Todd Christensen.
So moving on.
And your name?
Kathy Welschlager.
I will say that according to the understanding, the first phase has the stormwater capacity for these additional homes, is the way it was sold to us
Till you get
2 or 3 years ago, until there's a point where it goes
further north.
The first 20 lots.
So
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much further
I can
north?
confirm that. That's correct.
That I don't know where the split is, but
Okay.
The basin, that pond and the basin were oversized for the phase one.
Right, Brian Berquist, the town engineer, is online, and he just confirmed, Brian, you confirmed that this whole first addition will drain to the existing ponds to the south?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay.
When they do the next phase, they'll have to do more ponds in the back.
To the north.
Okay. And so can I just, this map is a little bit hard to read, or at least for me. So I was looking at the other map that is shaded, and it looks like it's 29, 30, and 45.
That one is the concept plan that was presented, so that's like the overall concept for the whole 64 lots or whatever it ended up being. So that's really just a concept plan, and it's likely that some of the actual lots will change when it's actually platted. And so that's what you're seeing in the difference there probably, is if the lots don't quite line up, it's not going to be exact, but it's just a general, this is what we expect the whole thing to look like.
This is the end result.
Before they got started. Well, no, it's not. It's like a preliminary concept. That's not necessarily the end result, because that doesn't have all the stormwater work done. It doesn't have all the things figured in.
Pie in the sky.
Yeah, it's just to give, just for the town to see generally what are they trying to what are they hoping to do there? But when they actually start planning things out, the lines end up coming in a little different usually.
Okay, and then, so this map that's on the back of this letter that we received is the sections that they're going to start focusing on at this time.
Right, this is, there was, Kennedy Hills was the original plat, the 16 lots that are already done, and now this is phase 2, which they're calling Kennedy Hills First Edition. And then there'll be a third phase eventually to do the rest to the north.
Okay.
So all that's being asked for right now are the ones that you see on the page.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So do you want me to keep reading so you can figure out what I'm doing with it?
Uh,
Are you done with trees or?
Yeah.
Okay. The following are the 4 conservation neighborhood design standards in the town comprehensive plan, of which 80% are to be met. The standards are in italics and in my opinions are in normal type. It's reasonable to consider the entirety of Kennedy Hills in this assessment, not just the current first edition plat. So the standard, first standard is the minimized visibility of development from main roads through natural topography, vegetation, like tree lines and wooded edges and setbacks. Minimum placement of lots in open fields. And Mark says vegetation and setbacks meet the standard along Highway BB, which is the main road adjacent to Kennedy Road. The proposed woodlot removal does not affect visibility from BB, so that standard is met. The next standard says back lots onto county, state, and federal highways, designing deeper lots and back lots onto county, state, and federal highways, designing deeper lots and landscape buffer yards in these areas. And Mark says that standard is met with the original plat, because this one doesn't go to a county highway. The standard is preserve mature trees and tree lines whenever possible. Mark says, as proposed, the first edition would remove 36-inch plus trunk diameter oaks plus a significant woodlot near the east edge of the plat, and suggest removal of most/all of the remainder of the woodlot with the second edition plat to come. Standard not met. If you want to talk about any of these while I'm going, otherwise I'll just keep going.
If anybody has questions.
That's something you're going to adjust to? What's that? The trees that you're willing, that you.
Trees.
Yeah, on here, it's in red.
Yeah, no, I'm not,
States to clear cut.
I'm just taking out enough just to get the road and ditch in. That's it.
That's on the, on this, for the road.
Yeah, just for the road.
The next standard is include an interconnected network of streets meeting town road standards. And Mark says roads are interconnected, but per the discussion in item 5 below, do not currently meet town road standards, so that standard is not yet met. Do you want to talk about 5?
Yeah.
5 says the town land division ordinance now has standards for neighborhood connector streets where connecting two parks, for example. Neighborhood connector streets are to have a 70-foot wide right-of-way and a 30-foot wide pavement that includes striped 5-foot wide bike/walking lanes on either side. Given their multiple park and trail connector functions, I recommend designating, sizing, and improving Wooded Ridge Trail as a neighborhood connector street. The submitted preliminary plant materials do not reflect this recommendation at present.
Thoughts?
If I'm not sure on that one, I got to look on the.
So Wooded Ridge, yeah, Wooded Ridge is basically the one. But anyway, he's saying that that one needs to be 70 feet wide with bike lanes and
Which one is that? Is on the,
Wooded Ridge.
yeah, which one? Which
That's
street
the
is that?
one that connects up on the east side to the existing subdivision.
It's the
Oh,
entire
okay.
horseshoe.
It's the whole horseshoe. South side.
Big loop
Yeah,
going around the
so
bottom,
just
that comes up, kind of where the
cul-de-sac
big
now.
dirt pile is,
Oh,
running
okay,
that way.
okay.
I wouldn't look at it. It's
Basically,
itself is
that
66 feet.
Right.
Connects in, it is 66 feet to the south.
That's because we changed our standards since phase, yeah.
As well as the road on the north, up on West Ridge. Just on both sides are 66 feet.
Okay, go on.
Mhm.
All right, the next standard is design streets and lot layouts to blend with natural land contours. And Mark says the preliminary plat shows existing contours, suggesting that the plat area ranges from about 928 feet to 942 feet. Elevation is generally highest near the northwest end and lowers to the southeast. The grading plan appears to suggest significant cutting and filling with up to 12 feet of cut in some places. This likely corresponds to proposed tree and woodland removal. So he says that standard is not met.
Something you need to deal with. So we have to get to 80%.
All right. Next standard, limit cul-de-sacs except where topography, environmentally sensitive areas, or pre-existing development pattern in the area necessitates their use, and he says that standard is met.
Yeah.
Next standard, integrate natural resources into the subdivision as an aesthetic and conservation landscape elements. He says that standard is not met. Mature trees and woodland proposed for full removal.
So if we leave them, we'll be okay.
Yeah. Next standard is restore the quality and continuity of degraded environmental areas within the subdivision, such as streams and wetlands. And he says there's no apparent degraded natural areas, so that doesn't apply.
Yeah, we don't have any in there.
Next one is encourage stormwater management treatment systems that focus on best management practices, or BMPs. BMPs may include overland transfer, natural landscaping to increase infiltration and reduce runoff, bioinfiltration systems, and maximum impervious surface ratios for development sites. He does not think it's clear whether or not this standard has been met.
Yeah, you probably haven't looked at stormwater, what you're going to do with
For
it.
the first 20?
Well, for the first, you know where it's going.
Yeah.
But as you move north.
Yeah, that all has to be engineered yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you get over the hill, crest of the hill.
Yeah.
That all has to be done yet.
Okay.
The next standard is provide vegetative buffers of at least 75 feet between building sites and wetlands and streams.
Don't have any.
There's none, so it's not applicable. Next one is provide wide areas for public access to parks and common open spaces. Mark says the first edition plat would provide a third public access to the town park to the immediate south of a proposed 20 feet in width. This is probably wide enough if demarcation is provided alongside lot lines and the developer improves a pathway within the dedication. Otherwise, the tendency is for such strips to be absorbed into adjacent lots for all practical purposes. Standard met if this condition is satisfied.
Something you can do.
All right, and next standard is maximize common open space in the neighborhood through public dedication and or private management through a homeowners association with conservation easement. Mark says overall plat will include 2 public parts, one of which would be part of an addition to an existing park in the northeast, so that standard is met. Another next standard, create pedestrian trails through open space areas, allowing for future connections to other parcels and parts of the town. He said that that standard is met if this suggestion in K above is satisfied, which was the one that dealt with wide areas of public access. All right, and then require new homes to meet Energy Star standards or otherwise incorporate specific energy efficient techniques in the development. He said it's not clear whether these will be included in the covenants yet, because they haven't been submitted.
Right.
So he says at present it seems that 50% of the applicable conservation neighborhood design standards are clearly met. 6 of applicable 12. He asked the developer to indicate how at least 4 more will be achieved to meet this comprehensive plan policy. Okay, the next point he has is figure 4 of the comprehensive plan suggests that prior to each rezoning and land division subdivision application associated with a TDR transaction, the town encourages the receiving area developer to first secure an option to purchase or another legally recognized tool to enable the future purchase of RDUs as a sending area from a sending area owner. I believe there was agreement that 2 required RDUs would be necessary for development of the rest of Kennedy Hills. Those are most logically tied to this phase 2 plot, which is beyond the quarter-mile buffer from the village, where transfer development rights are not required by town policy. I recommend that some verification that 2 RDUs are obtainable is provided now. Have you done that?
Yeah, I've got a contract and everything for those.
So we're gonna just need to see
We
a
would
copy
like
of
to
that.
see that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right, the town land division ordinance indicates that if required by the plan commission, a draft of protective covenants with the subdivider, which the subdivider intends to record regulating land use in the proposed subdivision or to otherwise protect the proposed development, is to be submitted with a preliminary plat. I am assuming the condition did not ask for covenants now, as they are not part of the submittal. I advise that no final plat application be considered complete until covenants are submitted at the same time. These should both be compatible with existing Kennedy Hills covenants and could be used to address some conservation neighborhood design standards listed above. So those will need to be submitted at least with the final plat. That's
So would we have that we could send it to him?
we can, I'll talk to the attorneys about that. I mean, I would think they'd want to pattern it pretty close after the first Kennedy Hills covenants.
Right.
So
Don't they get absorbed into ours?
I don't know. We'll have to work that all out with the attorney. That's what I mean.
It sounded anyways.
Yeah. The town land division ordinance now has standards for neighborhood connection. Oh, we already read this one earlier, so we'll skip that one. That was tied into that other one. The town has a park land impact fee and recreational improvement impact fee adopted in 2020. As part of the development agreement process, the relationship of those fees to this plat should be resolved. I don't think that the fees will come in when the lots are sold. As they're sold, and well, actually, it's supposed to be when building permits are applied for, but with the first phase, the developer paid him when he sold the lots.
Yeah.
So at some point there'll be those fees that will be collected as each lot is built up.
And he is also providing additional park space. Is it a 3 or is it
This portion
Doesn't get there.
Doesn't have any, right?
Yeah, it doesn't get that far.
So we'll have to look at the whole park thing, the comp plan, and make sure that there's no other implications, I guess. There may be some lot numbering differences between the preliminary plat and preliminary engineering plat, and so you might want to look at that. I thought there might be some differences.
Okay.
He advises a plat note that restricts access from proposed lots 17 through 19 to Kennedy Road. So they couldn't ask for a second driveway in the future, for example.
No.
And that was the end of his comments.
Yeah. You got a copy of these?
I believe so, yeah.
If you want to make my hard copies, you can. I can make more.
All right.
So he's only doing phase 2.
Yes.
They're not doing any of phase 3.
We're only dealing with phase 2, the next 36 lot.
Okay. So any changes that you would see for phase 3 comes in phase 3.
At this point, do you wish to approve this preliminary plan?
Can we add some more comments or no?
Yes, sir?
I got a few things, I guess. Is there a possible consideration about getting a second access to this subdivision with this first addition? Not only are we gonna have all the construction with one entrance coming through everybody else's road currently, but it's also the bus stop for the kids right at Kennedy and the entrance.
There's 18 plus, there's over 18 school-aged kids right now, just in the 16 lots that are currently built. And the intersection of Kennedy and Fields is the bus stop.
They could ask for a temporary construction access point directly onto Kennedy, just for construction.
We talked about that.
Yeah, we did talk about it.
Yeah, we figured on doing that.
Yeah, coming to the north.
So you
of that.
wouldn't complete the
There,
loop.
Yeah,
kind of where that other road is.
yeah, it's making
Eventually gonna
construction
come
on
that way.
that.
That would be for
That
like
one.
heavy civil equipment to build the roads. What about all the home construction?
We would stay open for that too. We just have to mark it, so I can't really enforce it, but
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, I would
that's
just
why I would
mark it
consider,
and leave it open, yeah.
Yeah, we can ask for that.
I guess this one, I know what you don't own, you can't control, but when we were all sold the first 16 lots, the thought was country, match the Daybring subdivision, big country lots. We have 16 lots and now you're gonna put 20 and 18 of 20 of them are smaller than the average current lot. So we were sold on big lots. Now we're getting the first edition and we're cramming 20 in. And then we're gonna start cramming more into the north. And eventually we're getting a lot smaller lots than anybody was discussing. I get it, I don't control it, I don't own it. And unfortunately, it's even a second owner now for the developer, but that's not what the proposed project was to the neighborhood. So 18 of the 20 lots are smaller than the average and 7 of 20 are smaller than the smallest current lot. Those
Is
are,
that good or bad?
in my opinion, that's bad. If we were discussing country lots that were larger in
And you
size.
can have some people say that that's good because you increase the density, you have to use less farmland in the future to build homes. It's a no-win situation.
Just voicing my opinion.
Yeah. That's a tough one to call because the impacts are forever.
Yeah, I just wish there would be some control over what previous people promised, and there were a lot of promises made by previous developer. And that's not his fault, so,
The person that sold you your lots made lots of promises that weren't necessarily true.
yes, we all know that.
I think, you're saying there's already like 18 lots in there. I think I would see where another park would be beneficial, just so that like those kids don't have to go all the way to the other end of the.
Well, there is a park
got our
right
park.
now.
On the
Yeah,
northeast,
have a park?
It's
Yeah,
in
we
the
have-
middle of the, Yeah.
Oh, okay,
which
in a
we,
future
Yep.
phase, there'll be another park
okay.
across from
Yep.
Airman.
yeah.
Johnson?
Yes.
So just
Yeah.
one more question. So in terms of, Kim, you discussed like having to meet so many of those requirements, right? So in terms of that, if the tree one is not, I don't understand how you could possibly meet the tree requirement, so that probably won't get met. This could still go forward if enough other ones are met, correct?
So this is, I just pulled up, this is the original concept. So I just pulled it up for the heck of it because I was curious to see if in the original concept before your lots were built, if the lots in the other phases were a different size, and I can't quite.
There was 64, there's now
Yeah.
68.
Can't figure that out exactly, but one thing that is very clear in this is that where the trees are. And you can see that it is gonna be pretty hard to not cut some trees to put those lots in.
Right.
Because this is like, as they were saying,
It's right down the middle.
this is all trees.
Right.
And there's a lot of lots in there, so even just to clear it out for the roads is still gonna take a heck of a lot of trees. Anyway.
That's up to whoever buys the lot, what they want for trees.
So So like you're just gonna sell the lots, you're not gonna build the
That's
houses?
just the way it works.
Right.
That many good trees up in there. I walked up through there a little bit. There's a lot of
garbage.
It's been logged
junk
out.
in there.
Yeah.
It was logged out once.
It was.
Take the female,
Yeah.
it's all there.
But there are some nice
There's trees, yeah.
oaks that are
Yeah.
in there and,
The homeowners will want them,
yeah.
let them pick.
They might, yeah.
And we'll want the existing fence lines cleaned up
All by,
when you have it all surveyed. We don't want
Oh,
the
right.
steel posts and the
right, no, I'll get rid of all that.
wire still hanging in there.
Yeah, because they're going through the lots at weird angles anyways, so. They will all disappear.
Question?
We wouldn't need to add any trees along Kennedy Road and the lots of what Kennedy Road. Some pines or something like that, meet that standard.
I don't know if you want to add them there.
Okay, just a question. Would be right between trees.
That line.
Right
Along
along Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Yep. Through here. And this are when it gets there.
Wouldn't that be more of what the owners would,
Yeah,
when they get there?
yeah.
I only bring it up because I know another developer that did prior to selling any homes, went through and did spot arrangements like that in the development. And, you know, really like pines are large, like what Steve talks about. Size, just faded in.
I just worry about drifting it onto Kennedy Road. Make it harder to plow.
Wind blows from the west,
I know.
not in the nor'easters. So, I think.
Okay.
Questions, comments?
Chris, first of all, there's a person who's had their hand up for quite a while. I'll defer to that person if it looks like it's a she. Let her speak, and then I do have a couple of questions.
This is Sherry Burke.
Shirley?
Sherry.
Sure. Sherry.
Are you there?
To CSM.
She muted?
She has, it shows that her sound is off, yes. Looks like, Sherry, it looks like, that from what I can tell, it's not that you're just muted, but that your sound is disabled on your computer. If you want to chat your questions, if you want to type it in a chat, I can read it for you.
Need to read this. For the read. She can't hear us.
Kim, is she typing something? Are you aware, or?
I don't see anything. So she just disappeared. She's gonna try a different connection.
Oh, sure.
Somebody's trying to get back on here. Your sound is still showing as disabled.
Chris, if I might, while we're waiting for Sherry, the gentleman spoke just a bit ago about lot sizes. Can anybody speak to what the average lot size is in phase one?
34,011 square feet.
Okay.
They're not terrible. Some of them are 35s.
It's pretty much the 4 on each side that are sliced and diced.
30,000.
Anything else, Steve?
I'm just looking, yeah, I was looking at the map here for the east side, and yeah, some of those are kind of small. And what's the potential possibility of creating 3 lots on that side as opposed to 4? And that would bring the square footage up comparable to, if my math is correct, pretty comparable to phase one. And you know, some of the ones on the west side, you know, because of the pie shaped and everything, without doing a complete redesign, yeah. But, you know, we could ask the developer to go back and sharpen the pencil a little bit and see if there's any other changes that could be made to increase the sizes a little bit on some of those lots. I mean, because I'm not a fan of postage stamp lots. If people want small lots, you know, that's what villages and cities are for, you know, and that's part of the allure of living out in the township is you've got some room to go ahead and move around. And so that's my comment. Thanks.
Those are the lots that there's a lot of trees on. Because they'd be more to actually leave the trees and build something.
Well, I didn't hear what you said, Kim. I mean, I couldn't understand.
I said that if those are the lots where a lot of trees are, if lots were a little bigger, it might leave room to leave the trees and still build.
That's, yeah, it's potentially possible.
27's already almost just 3/4 of an acre. 26 and 25, 0.7, they have a lot of trees, and 20 and 24, they're all larger where the trees are shown anyway on
The 3/4 acre.
this map. This is the size, so. Bigger the lot, the more you have to mow.
I mean, it's,
I don't,
you know,
I don't think it's,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
thank you. I was gonna say, I don't think Tony's comment necessarily was on there's anything wrong with the smaller lot size. I think his point was it's a little bit inconsistent with the first Kennedy Hills. Because even the smallest lots on Kennedy Hills, I have one of the smallest lots on Kennedy Hills. I back up to the basin. It doesn't seem that small when you back up to a giant basin, right? It's just inconsistent with the vision that was the initial development, is his point.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because they get pretty small as it goes further north.
Okay, is she online?
Her sound is disabled, so I don't know. And I offered to chat and I haven't gotten a response.
I guess my only other comment on lot size, it gives you something different to choose from. If you want a larger lot, then you buy 35 or 36. If you want a smaller one, you buy 30 or 31.
It's over half an acre.
Yeah. Gives you options.
Yeah, but it also pins septic tanks next to each other, gets everybody a lot closer, condensed. I mean, these are supposed to be country rural lots. We got wells, we got septics.
Makes a point there. For having area for which they have.
And I don't think it's taking 20 down to 10 lots. It's taking 20 to 18 gets you to. And again, it's not anything that this person did. It's things that were discussed long ago by others.
Is that something you would consider? I'll just ask you.
Would look into it, I mean,
Ravenwood's.
just a
average
basic
is probably
copy of
about
what
a half
Dave did
acre.
before
They got
now,
well and
so,
septic through the whole thing.
without starting over.
So see that whole, you can balance out.
You're saying Ravenwood half acre?
They're all about half acre through Ravenwood, and they all have well and septic.
Okay.
And I've been out here for 48 years. Never had an issue.
And you got 2 spots?
Yeah, everybody had to have 2 spots.
Yeah.
You gotta have an alternate.
We have a new phone caller. I think it might be Sherry.
Okay. Let her speak.
So can you hear me?
Yes?
Okay. So my question is, what is going to be happening on Kennedy Road for the traffic and all the kids and people that walk by here with the development that's proposed? Because it has been doubled. It's been doubled or tripled since the 14. Yeah, since the 14 houses that have been added in.
The amount of foot traffic or car traffic?
Foot traffic. Foot traffic.
There's a lot. It has increased a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. I work from home and I see people walking their dogs, their kids, strollers and everything. So it's a big concern for us.
Well, it hasn't been discussed yet, but I would assume we would be making some improvements to Kennedy Road. Possibly
Okay.
it or something.
We've lived here for 22 years and Kennedy Road hasn't been improved by our house yet.
It's always the first time.
I know,
Well,
right?
that's exciting.
No, I know. I wonder about, like, you know, the amount of people that, I mean, there's kids on skateboards and bikes and everything. It's just so concerning. If there's anything looking at widening the roads or what's going to happen with that.
Well, if we would improve it, we would widen it.
Okay.
It probably wouldn't come.
We are concerned because you're adding another 20 houses back here with a bunch of teenage kids.
For young kids and people walking, you know, their children and dogs and everything.
Yeah, it's a public road.
I know, but it's a very narrow road. I mean, I get so nervous watching mothers walking their kids and everything down this road.
And I would assume probably when they get to phase 3 is when the road would be widened and or fixed, whatever.
And at that time, wouldn't it take to
There is a phase 3.
trail that would go all the way through? So it would give people a different road to walk on. It would be a.
Yeah, I mean, we're just concerned about that, so we just wanted to make a point to say something.
Okay,
I mean, it's a fair concern because there is a lot of traffic out there, but.
What's your timing for phase 1 or phase 2 and phase 3?
Like the second 30, you mean? The 30 lots?
Yeah.
I guess it depends how the first 20 go. But you can probably work on the engineering, because that's gonna take a while, but it all depends how quick the first 20 disappear, I guess.
So it could be as much as 1 year sale or year and a half sale with another half year.
Right.
Could be 2 years, you could be starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on the
Well, if the
economy.
Fed-
Right.
Fed's helping lower the interest rate again, that'll help.
There is gonna be another street coming out onto Kennedy eventually, right?
Yeah, I think they'll
Yes.
put the farm buildings there.
Further north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And does that, on Wooded Ridge, does that run right into Conestoga? There or not?
I would assume it would.
Looks like it does.
Tie right in there,
Yeah,
kind of at the edge of the world there.
yeah.
But that'll be confusing. Wooded Ridge changes right here.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Get
And then
rid of
just-
dead ends. Get rid of dead end roads.
Yeah.
Does Farmstead
So another question,
follow?
another
into
question we had is, how come the bottom of Kennedy Road has been improved, not the rest of, to the south?
The north end was repaved, what, last year? Dan, I think is online. He can maybe tell you. But I think that from like Whiting to the north was
Whiting to the
repaved
north,
last year or the year before.
yeah. Could have been. I can't keep
It's
track.
probably because, I mean, I just maybe speaking out of turn here, but it's probably knowing that there's no point in repaving that now because it's gonna have to get improved for this.
Yeah,
You know, that would make sense to me.
yeah.
Why would we want to put money into paving it at this width when we get ready to do that? It'll probably get wider.
In several years that you tear it up or something. Yeah.
Dan just said I'm correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Better than mine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Question? You gotta approve the preliminary plat? With a list of things to come, I'm sure.
Well, you'll have to bring it back to do a formal resolution.
Yeah.
We don't have, so you could make a list, I guess, of things that need to be addressed before you would.
It was this map that said you were cutting everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that, yeah, no, that's not the intention. So,
Okay. So we don't need to take any action? Or do we need to approve the first edition?
Well, that's what a resolution would do, but if you're ready to approve the plat as it sits today, but you
That's the question.
you don't have a resolution in front of you to
No.
approve for it, so.
Well, Yes, you could maybe approve it, waiting for the draft of the resolution, seeing how he comes back with answers from our engineer and our planner on his 2 letters.
He needs to meet at least 80% of those standards, so we need to come back and figure out how you're gonna meet more than just half of them.
Yeah, 80%.
So which of the rest of them are you gonna meet to hit the 80%?
And we need to see some proof of the 2 RDUs that you purchased or have options on.
Yep.
So that we aren't approving something and you don't.
Right, yeah, they're in line. So if you save all the woods, wouldn't that take care of a lot of this?
Pardon?
If you save the woods, wouldn't that take care of a lot of these?
I think those trees are a big part of it.
Yeah.
When
I
that,
was just thinking, I
Yeah.
didn't do the math, but.
if you take that out of the equation, I think it's gotta be close, isn't it?
Right,
Well, one road being a wider road,
right.
Wooded
The
Ridge.
70-foot right away.
And that's through the woods, Wooded Ridge Trail. Gotta be wider.
And all of a sudden that makes those 4 lots a little bit smaller.
Yeah, it does.
Take it from the west one.
Well, depending on how you do it.
And it'd only be 4 feet wider to get to 70.
Yeah.
See the president, I'll staple the house.
Wooded Ridge Trail is supposed to be a connector. Scenic is, I think that's a connector too.
Pleasure.
I don't think there's anywhere where there's 12 feet of cut either. Which relates to the tree.
Would you suggest that he come back with his answers to all those? Which ones he can meet and which ones he can't, and which ones, I mean.
Just kind of clean that all up a little bit.
You should give him something concrete to come back with, is what I'm saying, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Have him come back with something to address all of those, whether he's gonna meet them or not, and how, or why not.
Mark in from Town.
Back with those.
Is there a motion to have you come back at the next meeting with answers to the questions from Town and Country and Mark or Rita?
Yeah.
Street out.
You 2 feet on the side. It shouldn't make it.
The 2 letters dated September 16th.
These 2 properties in town.
Yeah.
Was there a motion, Steve or Chris? Was there a motion made?
No, he's looking for one.
Well, take
I
one.
thought make a motion himself.
What do you say?
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we table the
Question there. Tim, there's a
preliminary
question.
plat for Kennedy Hills First Edition until the developer has come back to meet the town engineer requests from September 16th and the planner's request from also September 16th.
Motion by Bannigan. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Troy. Having come back at the next meeting with answers to town and country list and Mark Ruffles list dated 1/16. Discussion on the motion. Hearing that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Huh?
Troy. Right.
Troy. So this will be on our next agenda in October, the fourth Wednesday. If you receive notice for this one, you won't get a notice for that, for the upcoming ones. You have to watch each agenda for each month as to.
It will go out on the news and notice post, some of you probably got, but I'm not gonna mail anything. So if you
Yeah.
haven't signed up for that news and notice on the website, do that. But I'm not gonna mail hard copies when it flows like this.
It's in October.
The fourth Wednesday of October. I don't know off the top of my head what it is.
Usually it's fourth Wednesday of every month. So moving on then, we have Vinnie Acres LLC, petitioner property owner, petition to rezone 0.19 acres from FB1 to RR2 to adjust lot line between parcel 0711-311-0011-0 and parcel 0711-311-8020-0 at 2076 Seagull Cow Road.
Hi there. Initially, Chris Miller and I, when we did the lot, which would be lot 2 on your map, we thought that we could fit the home, you know, okay there, but unfortunately, it got put right next to the lot line, and there, I mean, there was no good way of doing it. We tried to keep the old roadway that was there, and the other thing we did try to do is, you know, we tried to keep the lot size down, because you guys wanted to keep it down as much as we could, and it was a you know, a weird area anyhow, if you want to use the word. And, you know, that's why it ended up being as big as it was. If I'd have known, when we did that lot 2, that this was gonna end up being a problem, you know, I would have asked for it then. Unfortunately, I mean, like I say, Chris and I thought, when we put it together, we thought we, you know, but we made a mistake, unfortunately, so.
Whose house? Sorry, your house.
No, this is Mindy and Kevin Kesnick.
All right.
They can, if you guys want to tell them what.
Yeah, it's our house, and basically, like Don said, we were trying to use the old roadway, and then when we positioned and we surveyed the house, it kept getting pushed back farther because we wanted to use the gravity for the septic. And then we bumped into shoreland zoning, which was a fun, expensive surprise. And so the house ended up, now that it's said and done, it's like he said, it's like right on the lot line. And so we have this nice big property and we're all the way to the edge of it. So we both agreed that it would make sense to just get a little bit more so we have a little bit of breathing space around the backside of our property.
Well, yeah, it is, but I mean,
Barely.
it just, I mean, they literally can't put trees behind their house, and I don't want to see trees on my land, you know, so I mean, that's totally up to them, of course, and I know they had problems with the septic too, was a deal. And they had, that was the other reason why.
So we kind of kept getting pushed back, and when he's talking about the trees, so we had to agree not to put trees on the backside of our lot because of the farm equipment. So the only place that we could put trees would be on the side property, but because we're right on the lot line, we really can't even do that.
That would be on the south side of the lot?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I have a restriction on lot line on the west side of both of the lots we did there, of 15 foot, that they can't build any trees, because I know what happens. People put a tree on the lot line, and the next thing you know, it's 30 feet out into the field, and I get it. I mean, there was a couple other things too that you guys had issues with, wasn't there?
Well, it was just mostly the septic and the shoreland zoning that just kind of kept pushing us back. And then in order to get some exposure on the south side of the property too, it just, the lot is fairly rolling hill. I mean, it's 3.5 acres and it's rolling. So positioning the house in the right, I mean, in a perfect world, I would have put it in the middle of the lot and had all of the space around us, but we just kept getting kind of pushed.
Well,
south.
basically what she's trying to say is this was the only nice flat area in the lot. And
It'd be a little different, you're saying if it had been wider, would have worked better?
yeah, but I didn't want to lose all my farmland, so, you know. But I mean, they did use the flat area. That was the good thing about it. And that's what Chris Miller was, you know, trying to do to begin with. So,
So you're too close, you're trying to make modifications by being too close to Door Creek? Is that for shoreline zoning, or what was it?
Well,
What were they trying to tell
we
you
had to
there?
be a certain distance from the creek.
That's what I thought.
75 feet.
yeah, but there's also a 300-foot
Right, that's
setback on.
Yeah.
on that creek.
Yeah.
So push us stop.
Is that Little Door Creek going through there?
That's Door Creek.
Yeah, that's right.
It's Door Creek, yeah. And these were just things that we didn't, when we bought the lot, we didn't know. And then when we had it surveyed, it just kind of kept moving and shifting. And next thing you know, we're,
I didn't think it was that close to that creek.
yeah.
It angles away. As where the house is, it's actually angling to the east right there. But it's the issue with the driveway and the septic and all that. You know, it was really a problem for them.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
Get it done, yep. Approve it.
Motion by Mule to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Troy. Discussion on the motion to approve. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Motion
It'll
to adjourn.
be on October 7th at the town board.
Thank you.
Okay, item 10, discuss potential commercial development of part of parcel 0711-331-8000-7 owned by Vinnie Acres LLC on North Star Road.
I don't know, after sitting through all this tonight, I don't know if it's a good idea or not.
We don't all have to come.
Maybe my neighbor wants to buy this, so. This is just something that we put together. I mean, Chris Hazen and I, we've talked about it, and I know I've had some discussions with Chris out there. Hampton, and, this. Must be a way one too. This is kind of showing the road, and I know you guys are in position with the road on the north edge of this property. Right now, there's a gravel, I don't know if is it a town road already, or?
No.
I mean, you're set up for it, you said, and.
They're at the southern edge of Red Line Boats, and who's the landscaper? Benevitz.
Yeah. That's that red line. Right at the
Yes,
top.
yep. It doesn't show the driveway that's
Yeah.
there right now.
Yeah. So, did you talk to Houston?
Talk to that guy right there. We kind of, the way we did this initially, we were thinking about taking it up to Wade's property line, but, you know, I don't think you guys want another road off that close off of North Star. I thought that was kind of senseless. And so we've moved it over, and it's kind of a flat area where we have it there right now. And still in the future, if Wade wanted to connect to this, that will be a gravelled cul-de-sac at the end of it. You know, because we don't know what the future is gonna bring right now.
Right.
So, I mean, it could go east or west right there.
Where the cul-de-sac is?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't go east, would you?
No, I don't want to, and I know
Yeah.
2 kids that I have don't want to, but
You can pull drives off these 2 parcels here onto North Star and utilize,
Yes.
okay. Or he could pull 1, 2, maybe 3 off from
The unnamed road?
the unnamed road.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the north?
Yes.
the one thing we thought about was if we take a road in and we start angling it, I know for you guys, I know straight roads are better. They're gonna last longer, and it's easier to maintain a straight road than it is an angly road through there. You know, I guess, you know, I don't know what Wade's comment is on this, but
Well, originally, I think the town wanted to come through, like on the north border line. Because you already have an easement there, right, by red line for future roadway.
Yeah.
And that would be where we're thinking about connecting was on that north. And then that would make its way out to North Star.
Navig.
Correct? Yeah,
Navig.
Navig, North Star to
And
Navig.
to the west.
Yeah, we'd have to have 2 outlets. And they're gonna shut down one at the pit eventually, sometime, correct? And they'll bring that across, according to what we had in the book here. Bring that across over.
On the west side.
Yeah, well, they bring it from the east to the west.
Oh.
And hook it here someplace, correct? Long time.
We don't have that planned for commercial yet.
This stuff here.
Yeah.
Don, you have this whole parcel, right?
Yeah.
This isn't the divider.
Yeah, that doesn't, because
It's all of this property.
the road went through and split.
This isn't reference to nothing.
No.
It's right here where it's down the line.
I mean, you can talk about it here.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the one that.
Yeah.
Just not.
Question?
I mean, like I say, this is just preliminary, and the reason why we thought this might be a better option is because if you look at the North Star Road, you know, these are lots I just drew in.
Yeah.
Chris is here, but, you know, I have no size on these, and this is just preliminary. I just thought, if you look at the east two, they could access North Star Road all by themselves.
Right.
Or the northeast one could access the road, you know, the new town road that's supposed to be there. And the same with, then if we move over and take the town road, you know, whatever we put in there, you know, it just made sense to draw it up this way. Unfortunately, we don't have an answer yet on
No, I gave that to him last night.
Okay.
Sorry.
The less road, the better though, correct?
But that road on the north, it's just gravel now. We have to buy that right away, don't we?
Yeah.
Town has to buy that right away from those 2 property owners before we could improve it.
Or we could use part of this stuff, right?
Isn't it sectioned off already?
It's not.
It's not?
No,
So that's true. I mean, you could just run it as part of
It
this
shows on
one.
the map that there's
Yeah.
a sliver there, a different parcel, or maybe.
If there was something like going on with Dwayne's, where half is Larry's and half is Dwayne's, if it ended up being that way, where he would have to donate half the land, would he have to donate half the land, or you'd still have to get an easement from, or a right of way
from
Red line.
Red Line
Benefits.
and Benefits?
Well, if you
No.
split the right of way,
it's laid out, we would have to acquire the right of way.
yeah.
Fully from Benefits
From
and.
But you
Red
could
Line
split it. I mean,
Benefits.
it's not etched in stone. They own it now, so you
Yeah.
could split it too.
Yeah. I mean, if that's probably doable.
So, yeah, makes sense.
Less something, or the less road to maintain, the better.
Less to plow and to blacktop and to care for, yes.
It's actually, yeah, here, let me just hold this up.
I think so.
There must be something.
What's that white thing?
Can't have lots without roads, so.
Right on. Is that a shed or a hangar?
The white thing in the middle.
It was an old hangar, yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So that's right now is all red lines, basically their driveway. If you look on there,
Yeah,
it was talked about that they not put any buildings in the way so that it could be a road someday, but you'd have to buy that from
we
them.
have to buy the right of way.
Yeah.
Has that been talked about?
Hmm?
Has that been talked about?
Back when they
No,
got the plan, it was left open.
yeah. But we haven't talked about physically buying it because we had no reason to.
Right.
Going by.
It makes sense for them, because then they'll have to come up with money for the driveway. Anything about it. They, right, they don't have to buy the right away. Right.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
They don't
back there
have
is
to go
gonna.
in along the driveway.
Yeah,
eminent
Like they
domain.
would
I
right
don't know
now,
if
red
we
line.
push that one, that's 'cause there's
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
there's,
Win-win.
yeah, not until there's no other way to do it.
I want to talk to you.
I mean, it would, I can't imagine they would.
I don't know. What else do you want from us?
Oh, yeah.
50 grand.
Well, the biggest thing
Yeah, I guess.
with this plan,
Are you open to this?
Are we open to this concept? As where the road would be?
Figure out the details.
I have no problem.
How do you get in and out of it?
Well, I mean, if we take a road up through the middle of it, we're between some lots. Then we got a curve in there, and I know that Dan
Oh, to
doesn't
try
like
and do it
that.
with
And I
just
mean,
coming off the
your
North Star.
gravel road is basically there right now. I mean, it's set right now. I just thought,
Is that the bill about the town road standards?
I believe so.
I think so, for fire access and everything.
Yeah.
It would make sense if we put a road right down the middle of the property line, so Don comes up with some right of way, Red Line comes up with some right of way, then they don't have to put in as long a driveway. It's a win for them. It's a win, and we don't have to pay for it.
And we would plow it.
Yeah, right. So it's not just a win-win, it's a win-win-win if you use that property line.
I think roughly the lots will be around 3 acres, give or take. That's roughly the idea of it, which I think makes a ton of sense.
well, I know Steve wanted to be at least 2.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Then you
Whatever the
still gotta do
market
your
wants,
ponds.
I guess.
What's that?
Still gotta do ponds. Well, that
Yeah.
can't be yours.
Can you use
I didn't
that,
say it.
can you use that drainage area instead of ponds? Or waterways out to that
Well, you
drainage?
probably can't use that.
Where does that go?
Where the waterway is, that's,
Little Door Creek,
That
down the
is?
Swan Line into
Yeah,
the north.
Okay.
that's what we're checking into.
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Makes sense to me.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay,
Now, you can't.
Just a quick question I had, it seems like everything's up in the air with town road to the north a little bit with the idea. What kind of a process is that for you guys to actually do that?
we'd have to get the town board to say, yes, we want to go and buy it.
I think Don's looking at timeframes, something like
And,
that, and I'm just kind of
and
curious.
then to improve it.
Yeah.
Well, we have to have the electors approve if we want to buy something.
I don't think roads you do.
Roads.
You could double check with Bill or WTA. I think roads, the town can purchase that without voter, the elector approval.
So the idea is the owners in the area are all under the understanding it's gonna happen someday.
Yeah.
Everybody's on board with it. It's just a matter of fine toothing
I
it.
don't know if we know that for sure, but
Okay, yeah, that's
we
the next question.
we haven't talked to
Yeah.
them about that since they were in for the development, so it's been 3 years maybe.
Going on that.
It'd be nice to know so that when the road does get put in, for the no-name road, when Don puts his road in, it can all be done at the same time.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
At least get the rock bed in and graded and.
Let's sit a year and then pave it. That's our preferred.
method, yeah.
The one that's there right now has been there for at least 2 years, I know that.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to the property line right now. Actually, I'd say it's 5 feet, 8 feet. Next, it's pretty close to the property
Yeah.
line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Gives us some direction. Yeah.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Troy made a motion to adjourn. Miley seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Andrews, aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.